going on, YouTube? So after so many questions that I've had in the last couple of months because of all the craziness that's going on here, we're back here at the range, and I'm gonna do a quick rifle setup. Give you an example of what a beginner rifle or what my rifle setup is and what you need, the basics of what you need on your AR platform. Okay, a lot of guys come to my courses and I see that they have like 100 different things on their rifle that are unnecessary and make the weight of the rifle 2 times, 3 times what it should be. Okay, this is a Lantac USA, would be so an AR15, okay, 14.5. You can run a 10 with a pistol brace and you don't need a tack stamp, or you can run a 16. This is a mid-range AR platform setup. Okay, this is what I've used in law enforcement. The only time that I've used anything shorter than this would be a 10-inch setup, would be during SWAT operations. Okay, when we're doing close quarter battles, CQB type stuff. But other than that, I've always used this for everything else, which would be a 14.5, which is perfect for the urban environment. Now, the setup that I use is for the urban environment, guys. Obviously, if you're gonna go into a wooded area or into the mountains and all this type of stuff, then you're probably gonna use a 16, okay, or just a longer platform, whatever it is that you decide to use, and a heavier caliber if you're going to be shooting large animals. Okay, this for humans is fine. Now, going into the setup, basics, what you would need for a basic class. All right, you don't need any NVG stuff, any IR stuff. You don't need any of that. That's you don't need any of that on your rifle. Okay, just for a basic class, for a beginner setup, pretty much what you need is a sling. This is your sling, your basic sling. What sling do I use? I use a Magpul sling. Okay, I usually run my rifle 1 point. Okay, recently I did a video with John Lavelle. You can look it up on the card in the corner. About 1 point and 2 point slings. Whether you run a 1 point or a 2 point sling, it's up to you. It's going to be your training on what you want to do. Okay, I usually run a 1 point. Have I ran a 2 point before when I needed it? Yes, I have. Okay, this particular rifle here is set up for a 1 point. Okay, my Mini Draco is set up for my 2 point. So it just depends on what I'm running or what I'm going to be doing for that day. What is your mission? At the end of the day, will determine whether you run a 1 point or 2 point. Okay, for me, a lot of the urban stuff, hands-on type stuff, where you're going hands-on dynamically, 1 point has always worked better for me than a 2 point. Okay, this is a Magpul. I can't remember if this is a Gen 2 or what Gen this is, but here, this particular sling, you can go from a 1 point or a 2 point. Options. Anything you get, you always want options. So either 1 point or 2 points, up to you. Okay, sling number 1. Sling will cost you around $60 to $70 depending on the sling that you have. Okay, number 2, when you get your rifle, you're gonna need an optic. You're gonna need either a red dot or some form of a 1x4 optic. Anything other than that, bigger than a 1x4, is going to just be unnecessary in the urban environment. Or you can run a regular red dot with a magnifier in the back, whatever you want. Okay, here is an aim point. Optics that I recommend. An aim point will run you anywhere between $500 to $650. This is a micro H1, I believe. $500 to $700. Are there cheaper optics? Yes, there are. Do I recommend you paying $500 to $700 if you're not a guy that uses a rifle on a regular basis? No. You can save your money. Go with a Vortex Spark or a Riton, which I have on my Mini Draco. $200, $250, $200 to $300. You're saving a couple $100. Okay, on your optic. Very important. You don't want it to fail, so you want to get a decent optic. The good thing about the Vortex Spark is they have a 100% money back guarantee for the lifetime of it, so you can, and their stuff is like you can send it back, bring it back, you know. But I've always chosen aim point. Never had a problem with this aim point. I'm running aim point for a lot of years. It's never gone down on me. And as you can see, this rifle is pretty freaking dirty because I've been using it for a long time, and I use it a lot. Okay, and I train with it a lot. All right. Now, here's a big discussion or a big debate. Some guys run pop-up backup sights. Okay, I do not. I run fail-safe sights. So if you run pop-up backup sights, like the Magpul ones or whatever, where you have to press and press pops up, press pops up, then you just have to make sure that they're co-witnessed with your red dot. Okay, so when you're looking through them, if your red dot went down and you're looking through your backup sights, your iron sights, you have to make sure that you can see through here, okay, and see to the front. Your front sight and your rear sight are pretty much in the middle with this. Okay, if not, if you have them too low, then this is going to hit and you're not going to be able to see anything. So that's huge with that. Okay, fail-safe sights are usually at a 45-degree angle. Fail-safe sights, as you can see here, they're off to the side of the rifle. I don't have to mess with my optic whatsoever. I don't have to worry about co-witnessing or anything like that. Okay, not a big thing. I don't have to pop them up, meaning like if my optic goes down or gets shot or gets hit or something happens where the it gets cracked or something, I can't see through it. Now all I have to do is pretty much just turn my rifle and cant it just a little bit, and now I have this and this. Okay, I've ran these are Griffin Armament. I've been running these sights probably for over 10 years or close to it. I've run these sights from 100 yards all the way in. So these sights, these iron sights, are good at 100 yards. Point of aim, point of impact. Obviously, you know, you have to offset a little bit as you go far back. You have to move down a little bit, whatever. That would be for a course, but you're good to go on a human able-bodied target at 100 yards all the way in from 100 yards, solid, no problem with these fail-safe sights. Now, in the urban environment, you know, it's been statistically proven that most engagements are going to always be within 15 yards and in with a rifle, 15, max 20, 25 yards. Why? Because you have too many friendlies running around. In the urban environment, you're going to have too many people going crazy running around when they start hearing the gunshots. So anything other than that, you're really risking taking a shot at 100 yards. You know, at that point, you better be at an elevated position, and most likely, hopefully, you don't have any kind of obstructions between you and that actual subject or the target you're engaging. Okay, so at 15, 20 yards, these are perfect. Okay, bang, bang, optic goes down. All you're doing is boom, boom, optic goes down. Oh shit, optic's down. Okay, just turn it around. Bam, 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 and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about getting behind cover, flipping, and now coming back over. Okay, it's just literally boom, boom, it's down. Okay, turning around, and now you're going to go. This is my preferred way. Okay, doesn't have to be yours. You can run the backup sights, pop-up sights, or whatever you want. It's up to you. But this is how I run my rifle. Okay, obviously you need a light. All right, so I have a light on my rifle just in case for any nighttime stuff. With that said, any other stuff you can do to the rifle is privilege, not necessary. Necessary: sling, optic, light, backup sights. Right? Privilege: what you would like to do to your rifle, what you can do to your rifle, but it's not necessary. Okay? Charging handle, ambidextrous charging handle, right side, left side. Okay? That is privilege. It's not necessary, but it helps, and it's a very cheap option. Okay? Trigger. You always want a aftermarket trigger on your rifle. Is it necessary? No, it's not. Does it help? Yes, it does. Once you become proficient and you know the fundamentals of shooting with an AR platform. Ambidextrous safety. Is it necessary? No, it's not. Does it help if you're one of those type of guys that likes to go from right shoulder to left shoulder? Yes, it does. Because every single time you shoot this platform, right after you're done and the stock comes out of your shoulder, okay, that the weapon should be on safety. Okay. If you have an AR that has a stock that is completely like it's an old style and it doesn't move, meaning you could make it smaller, bigger, you know, longer, whatever, I would definitely get one of these and try to get an AR platform that has that is new enough to where you can change this out. Okay, rail I like to have a rail pretty much almost the length of the barrel. Compensator, when you need one, not really, but it's cool to have one. That's about it, guys. I have the grip. I changed it. It's a VZ grips grip. I like VZ grips. They're good people, and I put it on this rifle. As you can see on this one, I have the ambidextrous charging handle, ambidextrous safety selector switch. Okay, and then I have a hyper fire trigger in this land tack. I would recommend Hyperfire trigger or a Geisty trigger. One of those two should be fine. So those are my two preferred triggers for the AR platform. Now, magazines. I personally like these Troy magazines a lot. This is what I use just because of the way that it is. I like them that it's very slick and it goes in and out of the pouches really easily. I've been running them for some years now. Never had an issue with a single one. Mag pools are just fine as well. With the Magpool mags, you have Turan Tacticals base plates that you can put on them. Add a couple extra rounds as well. It's another big thing there. But I have these too. Just a lot of the stuff, believe it or not, guys, is just preferred, and whether or not you want to add it on to your rifle. You're talking about, I don't recommend anybody who's just a novice shooter, doesn't do this professionally, whether you're a cop or professional shooter, to spend any more than about $1,500 on a rifle. There's no need for it. This rifle here runs around $1,500, and as a cop, I've always ran a rifle that has been around that range, $1,500, no more than $2,000. Even when I was with other companies that offered me rifles that were $3,500, I turned them down. Because I've always been the type of person to like run something that I know that my blue collar workers, my cops, and all the tactical guys can afford. Well, most guys are not going to be able to afford a $3,500 rifle, so I'm not going to run one. You don't need to spend that kind of money on a rifle. You can have a rifle that's $1,500 and it'll be fine. Take care of it, clean it every so often, and you'll be and you're good to go. So. Necessities, one more time, just to break it down. Necessities, a must. You pay your $1,500 for your rifle, your $1,200 or $1,300 for your rifle, whatever rifle you get. $50-$60 on a sling. $200 to $300 for an optic. Okay, backup sights, another $75 to $100. Whatever light you use, I have an Inforce light on here. Okay, but you can have Inforce, Surefire. There's a whole bunch of Streamlight. There's a whole bunch of different companies you can use. All right, what company do I recommend? I've never had an issue with this Inforce before, so I recommend this one. I like it, the fact that you press it and it's on or whatever. I took off the lights in here because I don't like to waste the battery, but you pretty much press it and it on and off, so, and then it comes out. I like the fact that it comes out just a little bit off the rifle. My preferred, preference. If you like a Surefire and you like a press pad, which is fine too. Surefire are a little bit more expensive, a little bit bigger as well. So it just depends on what you want. They're all these people are like, you must have this and you must have that. Fuck you. You don't need to have that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have this one or have to have that one. And this is the only one I recommend. Yeah, the only one you fucking recommend because they're fucking paying you to recommend it. Okay? At the end of the day, a setup is how you want it, how you feel comfortable. And as long as the products that you're running are decent products and good products and aren't going to break down on you, then you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? I can say this is the best, this is the best, and this is what I recommend 100%. But at the end of the day, it's going to be because of my experience with it. But there's other guys that have experienced the same concepts with the same stuff that I've used, and they have bad experiences with them. So it just depends. And I like to be completely, straight up forward with you guys, and that's just how it is. One thing I can pretty much guarantee you, when it comes to an optic, ain't nobody in the industry, and I've been a firearms instructor in the social media world and the internet world longer than 95% of these instructors here. Aim point is probably top dog. When it comes to a red dot, you know what I'm saying? There are no There are no other companies that's better than Aimpoint, you know. So that's just talking about the Optic now. And other than that, you know, rifles. Let's talk about rifles and what rifles I know that are good and they have lasted a long time. Okay, BCM, it's a good rifle. Daniel Defense, good rifle. Lantac, good rifle. And I'm able to tell you guys this because you know, I'm not with a rifle manufacturer. A lot of guys will just tell you if they're getting paid by certain companies, they're not going to be able to tell you or promote other companies. You know, whatever company you use or whatever rifle manufacturer you use, just make sure it's a reputable company. Pay the extra couple $100s to get one so it doesn't malfunction on you every other round. You know what I'm saying? Get a decent rifle. You can get a decent rifle nowadays, $1,500. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. And don't get all like googly-eyed when you hear mil spec. Mil spec means absolutely nothing. Mil spec is mil spec. It's military, supposedly military grade, and that they're the lowest bidder. Okay, so mil spec is nothing special. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video of my rifle setup. If you have any questions or comments, leave the questions and comments. I'm gonna go get some shooting done, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Subscribe, comment, tell your friends. We're here all year. On to the next one.